Okay, hello, good afternoon. So, as you know, today I can't be with you in person, so I'm going to give you the feedback via a video that I'm recording now for you um, about your works on Henry V. I am first going to speak to Group M. Group M, very good work. Your introduction lacks points of analysis, so that remember please that you need to state clearly in the introduction which your point of analysis will be, and so each point of analysis will correspond to a topic sentence. Okay, so that is very important to remember. Be careful because you embedded in the text quotes of more than 2 lines. And you need, if the quotes have more than 2 lines, you need to make a double space, indent the quote and font 10. So remember please that. There are several repetitions of the openers, as for example, the phrase "as can be seen" appears in every single paragraph and even twice in a paragraph. So that can't be possible. You cannot repeat the opener all the time. In the first question, the conclusion is a good paragraph, but it doesn't take back the points of analysis. So that is not a conclusion. You need to work on that. The conclusion must take back the hypothesis and taking into consideration all the development of the analysis must say what happens. It's a kind of answer to a big question. What happened with your question of research? And then there is one thing that appears here for group M, but appears also for several other groups. It's a kind of general concern. Works cited, that is a terminology that is quite odd, and it has to do with when you have notes, and I couldn't see any notes in your answers. So you need to say bibliography. That is the correct title. And then the format of the citation of the different books is something that you will work with Amanda today, hopefully. Okay, so group M, good work. You have an 8. Group F, very good introduction, but the first paragraph is not what was indicated in the introduction. So you say in the introduction which your points of analysis will be, but then the first paragraph is not what was stated as first in the introduction, right? So when you do the introduction, you say my points of analysis will be A, B, C, D, then you begin with A, and then you continue with B, and then C, and then E. So you can modify that because you're working on a computer. So if you changed the order, please remember to change the order in the introduction, because the point of analysis stated in the introduction must have the same order in the developing paragraphs. The quotes must be in font 10, and the conclusion is not the answer to your hypothesis. So again, as for the previous groups, remember that the conclusion must be the answer to the big question that is the hypothesis. In question 2, apart from this, there are no topic sentences in the introduction directly. And then everything comes as a surprise, and that cannot be in academic writing. Quotes are too long, and remember they must be in font 10, and there are some language mistakes in your work. All right, group F, good work. You have also an 8. Group H. Group H handed in only one question. Patricia tells me that it is because of the lack of time, because of some people of the group dropped the subject. So I am going to accept your answer, of course. All right. take care of the quotes. Quotes must be in font 10. And if you have a quotation of more than 2 lines, they must be apart. Again, double space, indentation, and font 10. No italics. Okay, good analysis. I liked the analysis. And be careful the way you quote the bibliography. But that is a kind of general concern. I'm going to ask Amanda and Patricia to work with that, because most bibliographies had problems with the kind of citation. So group H, you have an 8. Now group A, again, the topic sentences and the points of analysis are not present in the introduction. Good hypothesis in the first question. Please analyze your quotes. Quotes are good, but they lack of analysis. So after each quote, you need to analyze your quotation. Odd writing at times. I suppose that you copied and pasted some things, and then there are some parts that are very odd. They are not possible to understand. And in question 2, I didn't understand. I suppose that you wanted to demonstrate what already has been demonstrated by your theoretical background, and then you are kind of retelling the theoretical background with not clear original ideas. So pay attention to that. Okay, good work. Group A, you have an 8. Group K. Group K, your quotes are far too long. You need to narrow down your quotes. 4 lines, 5 lines, not more than that. And the font of the quotation must be font 10. You need to analyze the quote. So after you quote, you need to analyze what you have quoted, or else I can be thinking that that quote is not clear in what you intend to say, or at least what I understand. And please do not retell. This is a problem, in especially in question 1. There's a lot of retelling of the story of the play, and that's not the idea. The idea is, again, analyzing and not retelling. For question 2, well, you begin by telling me the story. So again, don't tell me the story. I already know the story. So go directly to the analysis. Be careful with the conclusion. The conclusion must answer to your hypothesis. All the work has an odd format. I suppose that I don't know. Probably you can put that in PDF or something, because probably when you uploaded your work, it changed the format, and it's very odd and destructive at times. And there are some language errors that you need to take care of. Okay, Group K, good work. You have a 7. Group L uploaded 2 files for 2 questions. Please, darlings, only 1 file for each group with the 2 questions inside. Okay, for the first question, that's question 3, good introduction, but lacks of the point of analysis. So you don't give me the point of analysis again. So everything comes as a surprise, and that's not the idea. So please, you need to think, to brainstorm first together in the group what your points of analysis, of the many possible points of analysis, which points of analysis you will take, and those are your topic sentences. Or else I really, you give me history, then the story of the page boy, and I was thinking, where are you going? So that's something you really need to take care of. In question 4, again, topic sentence is not quite clear. Um, oh, be careful because the quotes come not in italics. It's the normal font 10. Um, well, and one thing that really I need to say is that the comparison, because question 4 was about comparing Henry V and Richard II, but of course comparing the plays and not the characters. So be careful because the comparison should be about the plays and not the characters. And one thing that is very important for you, but in general, especially for Group L, but also in general, is that characters are not people. They are characters. There is a writer, there is an artist who is telling us a story and wants us to feel something, to think of something, to react in some way. And so he gives us artistic material that is an invention. So Henry is not a real person. I mean, even if he's based in historical sources, the Henry of Shakespeare, the Richard of Shakespeare's, are not real people. They are characters. So do not take them as if they were real people because they are not. Okay, group L, you have an 8. Now group Q. Group Q, very good work. Although in the first question the hypothesis is not really very clear. So the introduction is good, but the hypothesis is not clear. Again, for group Q, it's very important to understand that Henry is not a person. Henry is a character. Beware, the writer is an artist and is manipulating our minds, and that's why we like it. Okay, your topic sentences. And group Q, be careful, you are using APA and we use in English Literature 1 MLA as ways of quotation. So please speak with Amanda about this. It's very important. I will not accept midterm exams or monographs with APA, although you will use APA in English literature too with Magister Sneider-Manis, because she uses APA and I use MLA, and that's the idea, that you learn to use both, but in the correct subject, Again, group Q, do not retell. In moments you were telling me the story. Good conclusion. And again, for both questions, this applies. Again, in question 2, in the next question, the introduction is not very clear. All right, but the analysis is really good level. Group Q, you have a 9. Group, I don't know the letter because you didn't give me your group letter. Calderon and Stull are the students of this group. Sorry, because I, in general, prefer to mention the groups by the letters, but in this case, I don't know which group is this. Well, your first big problem is that you answered the 2 questions in only 1 answer. And the idea is not writing a paper, but answering 2 academic questions. So please, next time you divide your questions in 2 and you give me question 1 and question 2 in only 1 file uploaded in the drive. Okay, quotes come in font 10, please, not 12, and you need to analyze your quotes. And one thing that I'd like to say is be careful with anachronisms. Be careful, because we can analyze gender, and we have in Shakespeare from a lot of sides, and we today have a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas about genders, and lots of things are normal today and are unacceptable today. But Shakespeare wrote in the 16th century, darlings, and beginning of 17th century. So it's really anachronistic to to criticize Shakespeare in terms of gender. You can analyze and you can see how innovative Shakespeare was in terms of gender in many senses. But of course, criticizing Shakespeare for being not gender, I don't know, gender aware is something completely anachronistic. Okay, good analysis. You have a 7 group Calderon stool. All right, now group E. Group E gives me no hypothesis and no topic sentences in the introduction, so be careful about that when you write the introduction. You have to think of a hypothesis, that is the question of research, and you must give me your points of analysis that will again be repeated in each topic sentence of each paragraph. Quotes must not go in italics, and they if they are more than 2 lines, again you must separate them from the main text with double space, indentation, fontaine, no italics. Okay, question 1 is 2 pages only, and that is too short. Imagine that in the midterm exam you will answer one question in 5 pages, so at this stage 3-4 pages minimum is required. So remember this for next time. So group E, you have a 7. Now group B. Group B gives me no hypothesis and no topic sentences. Again, the same as I said before, I will not repeat that. Quotes are not indented. They are set in the middle of the page, and that's not correct. They go to the left but indented. Some quotes are in italics and some are not. Do not make up a title for the question, because this is not an essay. It's a question you are answering, and the question is already given to you. So do not make up a title for that. When you have plays and you are quoting or mentioning plays, then those plays, the same as the names of the books, they go in italics, but the characters don't, because they are characters, they are not plays. So when you say Henry V, when you are referring to the character, that doesn't come in italics, and when you're referring to the play, that comes in italics, and the same with Richard. Okay, right. Question 1 is answered in only 1 page, and question 2 in 2 or 3. That's quite insufficient. Of course, the analysis seems superficial, but that is because it's too short. So try to lengthen your analysis. Give me a full analysis of 3-4 pages at this stage, so as to come to 5 pages when we reach the end of the term. Okay, so group B, you have a 6. Okay, last group, group C. Group C, all right, you describe Henry, and it is not clear if you are describing the play or the character, but in general, all your answers seem to me as a big description of one aspect of the play, and not an analysis, but a description. And of course, the difference is that the description is just a retelling of events, let's say, and from one point of view, whereas an analysis is polysemic and it takes more than one point of view. This is why you take a theoretical background, and you can disagree with your theoretical background. That would be ideal. I mean, or you can agree, but it must be dialogic. An analysis is dialogic, and a description is monologic. And so it's very important that instead of describing, you give me a good analysis, a conversation between you, your mind, and the scholars you are taking as your theoretical background. Okay, especially in the introduction, it's really a description. And then I don't see your points of analysis in the introduction. Um, and you're using words like it's clear, it's undeniable, and we don't use these kind of words in academic writing because nothing is so clear or undeniable in academic writing. Everything is possible, and you have to support your point of view because they can have exactly the opposite point of view after all. Again, be careful. Henry is not a person. You don't give me conclusion in any of the answers. I mean, it's a kind of final paragraph, but not a conclusion. A conclusion is the one that answers to the hypothesis and gives me what is the answer to your question of research, and that may be that the question of research is wrong, or maybe that you didn't see things as you do now after the analysis. That's correct. But it's a dialogue between the introduction, the hypothesis, and the conclusion. And I don't see a clear conclusion in any of your two answers. Um, so again, the answer seems to be a description more than an analysis. You have to work on that. So group C, you have a 7. Okay, so as you see, your marks were very good. And in general terms, I am very happy with your work. So this that I do, this feedback I give you, then unluckily today, as I have to rush to the doctor in a minute time, um, I have to give the feedback in a video, but normally this is in a conversation with you, as it will be for next play. So very good works, very good level, and I am very exigent, but I recognize when my students are making an effort, and these students are making an effort. So congratulations. I will give you my general concerns. I didn't see notes in your work, and I suppose that notes are essential. So, with Amanda and Patricia, we will work with the role of notes and the value of notes in academic writing. The bibliography, it's clear that we have to work with how to build the bibliography after the answers, after your analysis. And then one general concern that is more or less the same for almost all the groups. I suppose that there were 2 or 3 groups only that really got it right, is the points of analysis that you have to consider in the introduction, that must be in the correct order of your paragraphs, and the points of analysis must lead to the topic sentences in each of the paragraphs of development of analysis. Okay, and having said that, I am going to tell you something. I received 2 or 3 emails this week because, we are, after all, studying Shakespeare in the middle of a pandemia, of a global pandemia. And I can be very exigent in terms of academic writing and analysis, but of course, I am a human being, but especially I am a very sensitive person. Although I am Mr. Hyde, I am very sensitive too. And please know that you can count on me. That if you have any problem, I mean, a relative, somebody in your family, hopefully not you, but you, anybody that has a problem with this virus, or a problem with anything else, or sadness, depression, loneliness, I don't know, any problem, economic problems, whatever may happen to you in the middle of this pandemia, we will take that into consideration. We prefer you in the program, even if you cannot cope with everything. We want you inside our program, and we will manage. We'll manage. You'll see. Write me an email. Don't drop the subject. Don't go away. Don't be sad. Stay with us, and we'll do our best in these times, very strange times that we are going through. Well, darlings, until next Friday then, and have a nice weekend. And enjoy next play. Bye.